Hi Cancer, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your reading. We're doing the 15th through to the 30th of April 2020. Today for you guys. For the reading we're using the This Might Hurt Tarot deck. It's a really lovely deck, one of my favourites, by Isabella Rotman. And for your spiritual advice, guys, we're using the Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland. The reading is a 12 spread reading, a 12 card reading today. Top card will be what you need to focus on for the next 2 weeks. The 10 cards in the centre are what the situation is. And the bottom card is how it can be resolved or advice. Okay, let's get started. Okay, have you got the cards down, Cancer? Let's have a look at what you need to be focusing on for the next couple of weeks. The Eight of Wands. I think just kind of staying active probably. But the other thing with the Eight of Wands, it's about communication as well. So the Eight of Wands can be about being really proactive. It's one of those cards that talks about advancing yourself. So maybe there are things like learning new courses or learning new things. The other thing with the Eight of Wands energy, of course, is communication. So some of you guys might need to focus on communicating with people you haven't spoken to, maybe for for a time, for a spell. The Six of Wands, that's interesting. So Six of Wands is all about recognition and support. It's about being victorious and being in the limelight is the Six of Wands energy. It's about having support from others. It's about having people that believe in you. As I've said, it's about being recognised by other people as well with the Six of Wands energy. It's a really good card to get. What's the next one? The Temperance energy showing here. So the Temperance energy means things happening slowly. Okay, so the situation is all about recognition. Perhaps things are taking slower than you expect, because the Six of Wands is all about getting recognition and support from others. But the Temperance energy, it might be that this is going to come in time. It's going to be a slow process to achieving these things. So what's the next one? There may be some boundaries at the moment. Okay, and that's interesting, because I was just thinking, like, and it seems to be in readings that, you know, in light of what's happening around the world at the moment, Cancerians, that you guys, the support or the recognition that you're looking for here may be taking, you know, it's going to take time to come together, because that's what Temperance is as well. The angel's trying to get the right combination, the right balance there, and it takes time to get everything exactly right on that card. All right, because there are boundaries, and obviously I can't talk too much about those, but we all know what those boundaries are. However, I do feel that they're going to come to an end with the Death energy showing there. Okay, could be within a month's time, things will be relaxed. All right, a little bit, and you can start kind of really, you know, making waves. But I think that within the next couple of weeks, the universe is kind of saying, you know, where are we now? We're on the 15th of April. So probably by the 15th of May, because that would be kind of within 1 month, this, you know, these boundaries will come to an end. You know, things are going to be relaxed. Probably, I would use that a time, probably within, it makes sense to say that, probably within about a month. Maybe the boundaries that we're under at the moment might be slightly relaxed. But I think in the meantime, the universe is saying that you still need to... So this isn't so much about communicating with others. I just think that you still need to kind of keep proactive. But yes, it could still be that, because whatever this is, this may just simply be in line with, you know, victory is going to take time. So that could be, it could be talking about, you know, the situation. But victory as well, Six of Wands energy, is going to take time. You know, while they're trying to find a way to kind of get things sorted out with the Temperance energy. There are boundaries here, but those boundaries will come to an end. So we could say, well, victory will take time. Things are going to take time to get back to normal, to come together, Temperance energy. But the boundaries that you're under are going to end, Death card, probably within a month of the moon. But not complete. I mean, it says ending within a month, but I should imagine that some of the boundaries that we're under will be relaxed and some won't. But you need to keep, in the meantime, you need to be focusing in the next 2 weeks on keeping active nevertheless. So that could be Eight of Wands. Either the activity is exercising, for example, in your home, or going for a jog around the block, or the activity could be, you need to still focus on communicating with people that you haven't seen, or family that you're away from, that type of thing, or just keep proactive regardless, whether that's creatively or learning something new. You still need to keep on top of things in this area here. We have a Queen of Swords, so this for me is my card that I use when I see a request coming. There may be a request maybe with that Queen of Swords energy showing you. You've got two sitting next door to each other. I don't think it's so much a request. I just feel that you've got a king and a queen, and they're both the same suit. So these two people together really share a commonality of thought. So they've both got the same sort of ideas, and there's an exchange. I often find when I see the king and the queen together, there's often an exchange of ideas showing up when I see those two together, because when you get a king and a queen of the same suit sitting side by side, especially within a particular reading, you know that they're sharing, they've got something in common. For example, the king and the queen of cups together would be two people who they're a harmonious couple. So there's a great deal of harmony in the friendship when you get sometimes not. As I saw the other morning when I did my own reading and got that, me and my twinny had a bit of a fight on the phone, a bit of an argument over something and nothing, but it showed it, because it showed swords with, two of swords with the both of us. And the queen that I had, I was using a different deck on that one. I was using the Rider-Waite, I think, or a Rider-Waite clone. The Queen of Cups had her cup closed, and the King of Cups had his cup open. So I was asking something for my twin sister to do. I was the King of Cups, but with her cup closed as the Queen of Cups, she was saying no to me. I don't want to do that. And there was a clash of ideas with the Two of Swords. So that's how I knew that was coming. And that even though it was a King and a Queen together, we weren't sharing a harmonious moment. We weren't kind of agreeing on something. That's how I knew with those swords sitting in there, and the fact that the cup was closed and the cup was open. Now, it's interesting, though, if you look at this, even though I feel that these two could work well together, look at what she's doing. She's got her hand open here, but he's got the sword in his hand. His hand is closed. So his hand is closed, her hand is open here, and he's got the sword in his hand. But then, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's a bad thing. It feels like you're requesting the truth, or you're requesting an answer. You're asking for something. It feels like she's asking for something here. I just get the impression that somebody's asking for something here. Okay, I feel like there's a conversation taking place. He's got the sword of truth in his hands, and she's requesting. It's almost like she's requesting his sword as well. She's got her own sword, but she's requesting his sword. But so it almost feels like with both cards, that what you might find is that it's either you or somebody around you that will be asking for, it's not help or anything like that, it's more asking for support. It's more asking for this person to join in, or to agree. It's almost like agree with something that either you or they are thinking. Something like that between those two, because I'm just looking at the hand movements on the card and how she's got her hand out and he's kind of like got the sword like that. So it's almost like she's requesting his sword. She wants his ideas, but he's holding firmly to his ideas, but she wants his ideas. She wants his, it's almost like you're asking for input, or somebody's asking for input from you. Yeah, he's keeping it close to his chest, Four of Coins. I think he's keeping his ideas close to his chest. So it may be that in the next, couple of weeks, you've got somebody around you that you're asking for their input on a situation, or because it's an idea, it's communication, it's so it's air energy. You're asking for someone to put some input into something, but they're keeping stuff close to their chest with that four of coins showing there. You've got another queen showing here. Now the Queen of Cups, Cancer, is you. So this is kind of opening up the heart, is the Queen of Cups energy, and sympathizing and empathizing and understanding. You've got the Three of Swords though, so that's interesting showing there. Queen of Cups, that's you, and the Three of Swords energy showing here. I mean, I certainly see a clash probably between three people, perhaps, showing here. You've got the Three of Swords here, and there's three people in the reading. Queen of Swords, I don't think this is you. This may be a couple of other people. Queen of Swords, there's people involved in the situation. Somebody's keeping something close to their chest, or somebody won't open up here. It feels like to me that these are people probably in your immediate vicinity, people who are around you. So if you don't entirely live on your own, and it might not be, it might be people that you speak to over FaceTime. It feels like it may be family members or friends. But what it feels like here is that we've got somebody who's requesting an idea, or they're requesting some input, and this person won't give the input. It feels like you're sitting on the fence here because your heart is open. So it doesn't feel like you're involved in whatever this is. I see a clash actually now between these two people here. That's why we've got the Three of Swords. So I'm seeing that there are differences of opinion, I think, happening in this situation. Now, the differences of opinion, I mean, they could be about money. With, for example, with the Four of Coins energy, it feels like this person here is asking for something of this person here. It may be financially, it might be that there's a financial implication with that Four of Coins, or it could be that the Queen of Swords is asking for something off this king, but he's not willing to give it because he's got his hands firmly clenched around his sword, you know. So he's like, no, I'm not willing to give you this sword. I'm not willing to give you my ideas on this. You know, I'm keeping this completely to myself. I feel that you actually, with this Queen of Cups energy, actually are going to try and heal that rift, because the Three of Swords is the rift. And the Queen of Cups, who better try and pour, you know, water, clean the wound. Can you see the wound? Clean the wound than you. So you may be involved in trying to heal a rift as well between a couple of people around you, because I just don't think that they see eye to eye. And I see that one of them is very kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Very shut down when it comes to things. This person, I see one person asking for something of the other, but they're not willing to give it with that Four of Coins. And I think that you're going to be trying to heal that rift as well. So it's interesting, the reading is, because I think it's kind of saying a couple of things really. Firstly, over the next couple of weeks, the energy around you, or the universe, is telling you just to focus on advancing yourself regardless of what's going on. You just need to carry on focusing on, whether it's, you know, doing your daily exercises with the Eight of Wands, whether it's, you know, doing a course with the Eight of Wands, whether it's learning something new with the Eight of Wands, whether it's you being creative with the Eight of Wands. You need to keep with the Eight of Wands, I think, Cancerians, the flow going. That's what you need to do regardless of what's happening around you. You just need to stay in your lane, because, you know, this thing that's going on at the moment with this Six of Wands energy showing here, okay, overcoming it, everybody's celebrating. Well, it's going to take a bit of time before that happens, okay. But the boundaries, some of the boundaries, I would say, could be lifted with that Death card probably within about 4 weeks, okay. The Moon card within about a month, around May 15th, okay. So slowly but surely, gradually, I guess, with the Temperance card, we'll start seeing some little traction in the situation. Maybe not a lot, but a little bit, probably. Also, I think with the Six of Wands energy, if you're looking to do something with that Six of Wands, for example, if you were looking to, I don't know, start a project or a business, it may take time to do that. But boundaries, you know, some boundaries could be lifted again, as I've said, within 1 month. So I actually feel that, you know, regardless of what's going on there, you know, with what's happening in our world right now, or maybe you've got some intentions to do certain things, you just need to keep on going regardless, because it's getting tougher on a lot of people having to kind of deal with the situation. The other thing is that you might encounter is that people around you, this King and the Queen of Swords, then I don't believe that they're seeing eye to eye. She's got her hand out, she wants his sword, and he's kind of like got I think this is, what is this? Is this, I don't know what this bird is. Is it an eagle? I think he usually has an eagle, doesn't he? Something like that. But it represents kind of the wisdom of the King of Swords. So in his kind of wisdom, he's saying, actually, yeah, you want this from me, but I'm not willing to give it to you. I'm keeping this close to my chest. All right. There may also be kind of, and actually as well, it may be that she is in for a fight because she's got the hand out. And now I always read the Queen of Swords pretty much, especially with this deck, as the one that's requesting stuff. She's always like, give it to me. And this is definitely a request. A lot of the time this card can represent that somebody's asking you for something. So she's definitely asking for something. This person is here. All right. But he's holding, can you see how she's asking with the hand out, but he's holding firmly like this. So she's asking for his sword. And that's his strength. So she's asking for his opinion, for his strength. She's asking for something off him, but he's not willing to give it. And I feel there's a bit of stalemate here. This could be around money as well. You may need, with that Queen of Cups energy, because you are the Queen of Cups, Cancerians, because that's a Cancerian card, you may need to try and heal the rift. All right, so don't be surprised if you're going to have to try and soften or heal a rift between a couple of people who aren't seeing eye to eye. Yeah, I'm seeing, I get the impression that this person may be quite domineering. One of them, whoever these people are, may be quite domineering. The other one is not willing to give in. You know, it's either that they're asking for money or they're just asking for something or other. They're not willing to give in. They're keeping everything close to their chest. So you may need to heal the rift as well. Regardless of all of that going on, I think Cancerians, you still just need to keep on going. I think the Eight of Wands is just saying that you need to really just keep in your lane, regardless of what's going on. And the advice, yeah, don't drink, I was just about to say don't drink the Kool-Aid. I'm not, that doesn't make any sense. Don't participate, basically. Actually, that's funny that is Cancerians, because that's your card as well. Four of Cups is third deacon in Cancer, so that's you on the card there as well. We've got a Cancer card here and the Cancer card here. Okay, you're trying to heal the rift here, but it's actually saying don't do it, I think, because you've got the cup in your hand here suggesting to me that you want to heal this. The cup is a very healing thing, all right, and you're wanting to clean the wound, because can you see how there's a wound here? Well, you're wanting to clean it with the water. You're wanting to clean the wound of what's going on here, but I think the advice is don't interact, and that's why it's saying at the top level here that the focus needs to be in staying in your lane, just doing what you do, you know, just completely keeping focused with that Eight of Wands sitting in there on yourself. I know it sounds a bit selfish, but you try and get involved in other people's problems and it's going to take you down. And I think that what you've been doing, Cancer, if I'm not mistaken, it feels like what you've been doing when I look between the lines of, you know, in between the lines of the reading, is you've really been kind of like, I'm just focusing on me. That's what it feels like. And sometimes people do just need to focus on them, especially if you've got like different kind of, you know, up and down and negative. I mean, I don't know whether this is negative. It feels a little bit negative, but it feels like a squabble here with that Four of Coins there and her hand out and his clasp. Because she's doing this, give it to me, and he's kind of like, no, I'm holding, because he's holding firmly to his sword, and she's asking for stuff. It's almost like the bird is talking to him and saying, don't give it, don't give it, don't give it. So there could be kind of like 2 to 3 people. That bird in there as well is a person, I believe. 2 to 3 people, and there's a refusal here to give something, because the Four of Coins is refusing to give something. It may be something material that this person's asking for, and there's a lot of hurt here, and you're trying to heal the wound. But if you look here, you've got the cup in your hand there, but it's almost like that cup is there. That cup is what, it's almost like the burden has been handed to you. So like the cup becomes the burden, and it's being handed to Cancer to sort out the problem. But the universe is saying, if they try and get you to participate in this and to mediate, because these people may want you to act as a mediator, to clean the wound, to sort it out. It's almost like the cup that you're holding here is the cup that was initially offered and you took it. But it's saying, don't take the cup. Cancerians, don't take the cup. If they're trying to involve you, that cup coming to you is probably sent from this Queen here, I believe, because she wants something from him that he's not willing to give. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of these people, especially perhaps her, says to you, Cancerians, can you sort this out, please? Can you sort this out? She's trying, that's her hand, I believe, offering you the cup and saying, please, can you sort this out? Can you see where your hands are, Cancerians? They're down here. They're saying, I don't want the problem. So now the cup becomes the problem. So in other words, the advice is don't take part in the situation. Don't get involved in the problem. All right? Stay in your lane. All right? Stay focused on yourself. You're doing really well. Don't allow this to add to anything. Don't get involved in their problem and stay in your lane. All right? Let's have a look at what the advice is in 2 cards. 2 cards, what's the spiritual advice you have for Cancerians, please? In 2 cards, what's the spiritual advice that you have for Cancerians for the next 2 weeks? Right, you need to confront. We've got the Moon card. This represents the Moon. Confrontation. Confront. But this is all about confronting yourself. You know, it's almost like he's looking at his shadow self. If you look here, he's looking in shadow. So it's almost like there are certain things about yourself that you really need to confront. Which is why I think that the universe is saying don't take on other people's problems, because you're dealing with stuff about yourself that you need to confront. And you need to trust that it's all going to be, you know, you need to trust yourself to confront whatever these demons are. I think there's stuff, I think with the Eight of Wands being the situation that you need to be focusing on, which is advancing and moving forward and, you know, just, you know, staying in your lane and doing your exercises and working on your creativity and really amidst everything, because you know, we've probably got another month of this to go, of what's going on at the moment, because I think within a month they'll relax stuff, okay, right around about May 15th, something like that, because this is for April 15th, so they'll probably relax stuff with that Death of the Moon card in about, you know, 1 month, 4 weeks or so. So in that time, you need to be focused on you with the Eight of Wands. You need to be advancing yourself. You need to be doing your exercises. You need to stay in your lane. And I think that one of the reasons that you need to stay in your lane is that, you know, you've got this Moon card here, and then you've got the Fool card. This represents the Fool here. Okay. Now, on this particular Moon card, they're showing somebody who's confronting their shadow self. And I think with this, the Fool card, because the Fool is not afraid, you have to be fearless. You can't be afraid. The advice is, do not be afraid with the Fool card to confront your demons in this time. And I think if it's a time as well where it's saying to you, look, Cancerians, it's time just to focus on you, I think the universe is saying in that it's time, and you know, you have to fearlessly in this time confront your demons, your own personal demons. So therefore, if that's what you're doing, if you're confronting things about yourself that you haven't faced up to, because I think that during this time, it's making a lot of us face up to a lot of our own personal demons. You know, it's making a lot of us kind of review certain things that we weren't. Before, we were so busy just doing this, doing that, do the other. But now it's really because we've got a lot of time on our hands. I mean, look, I run a business from home. It's a very successful business. I love what I do. But even at times in the evening when I finished working with clients and I'm just sort of sitting here and I can't go and see family or friends or anybody at all, I'm sitting on thinking about all sorts of shit. And I'm, you know, sometimes I've had times where I'm just like, oh my goodness, about certain things. Because I'm having to confront the things that I'm bringing up a lot of stuff that I've not brought up in probably in years. So, you know, there has to be a fearlessness when it comes to, you know, you can't fear confronting your shadow self. It's time to do that. So if you're going to be doing that, and that can be some very, very deep shit. That can be real deep work. That a lot of work is involved in doing that. So I think that in light of all of that, where you're confronting certain things about yourself, Cancerians, you don't have the time to take on anybody else's problems. So it is really, if I were to put this in a nutshell, this is 2 weeks worth of completely being selfish and thinking about yourself. I know that some of you have families and stuff like that, fair enough, but I feel that these are grown people's problems, because they show us they're not children, they're grown people. They show us kings and queens, all right? They show us kings and queens, all right? Let them sort it out for themselves. You don't get, you're there trying to kind of clean the wound, being the Queen of Cups that you are with that Three of Swords. You're just trying to clean the wound, but the universe is saying, look, this thing that you're doing right here, this person or this person is handing you that cup. So they're saying, you sort it out for us, please. But look how many problems you already sorted out with the Three Cups behind you. Look how many times you already did it before. You already did it. And they're asking you again to sort it out. And it's, the universe is saying, don't do it. You don't need anybody else's problems. You've got your own shit to confront, and you know that you've got your own stuff to confront. So do that, okay? Alright, that is your reading for the next 2 weeks. I'd like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe. If you'd like a private reading with me, click on the comments section, the link in the comments section or the end screen. Take care, guys. Love you. Bye.